A small pet peeve I have in the VTuber community are the designs. Most of the time, it doesn't bother me, but the potential a model could have itches away at me. One VTuber concept in particular are goats. Like, sure, these people have all the essentials like the horns and tail, but what about the rest of the goat? Because of this, it's hard to distinguish what your concept is at first glance. Could always be misinterpreted as a demon or even a sheep. So I decided to make it my mission today to try and make these goats my goat. Get it? So if you're familiar with my channel, you're probably used to hearing this section, but it's rules time! The one, as I mentioned at the intro, will be trying to give this goat more clarity in design, something that you look at for a mere second and immediately recognize as a goat, and nothing else. Of course, name, lore, and showcase. You guys seem to love the lore bits with the fellas moving around, which I'm very happy about. And lastly, rule number 3, don't get rammed by the goat. Now, my original intention for this design was for it to have the goat's hind legs and hooves, but I do not have the ability to draw hind legs for the chibi, so you'll probably have to imagine it. Oopsie. I was also originally going to make this a male VTuber, or at the very least masculine, but they do give off androgynous vibes, so we'll be going with them being non-binary instead. Pretty awesome if I say so myself. Even though I've struggled with my designs for the past videos. That fuck-ass bear. This design wasn't actually too hard to make. I was expecting an all-out struggle with creative block, honestly. Also, I just realized I got too into the zone and forgot about the hooves idea, but I'll figure that out later in the viewer process, right? Making this model was super fun, especially the face. Look at past me go. Now, time to try making the hind legs. Okay, those hind legs were an absolute fail. Ignore that, guys. It totally wasn't a bust. Anyways, topic change. I like manually bucket tooling the viewer guidelines depending on where I want my colors to be. I don't really know why, but it does make my layers look cleaner and more organized to some degree. If you've seen my old speech goals, you can tell that I just winged it. Also, something really strange happened. Normally, I wouldn't care for the default viewer hair highlights, but low-key, they're looking good right now. I decided from that very moment that I would commit to said highlights. You simply don't throw away potential just because it's unusual and unconventional. Back then, people thought the internet would just be a fad. Now look at us now. You're watching an anime punk dog girl talk about designing and modeling an androgynous goat VTuber. What a strange world we live in. Since I committed to viewer's default hair highlights, I'm gonna try to play around with my art stuff for this one and have it look good and stuff. One thing in particular that I'll probably have to do is make the outlines thinner for the rest of the model. Also, while I was editing and fiddling around with the model's hair textures, the highlight suddenly changes color when I edit the texture. The fuck? If this is a bug, I'm gonna crash out because there's no other way to fix it than being unable to edit the textures altogether. Oh god. Never mind, crisis averted! Even though I completely forgot to click on start recording in OBS, I just wanted to let you guys know I managed to loop out with a hair highlight so we can still keep our stuff. Give me a round of applause, everybody. Are you doing it? Also, yeah, thinner lines are definitely better this time around. God damn! Because look at this initial small design tweak sketch. Scrumptious. Honestly, I'm pretty satisfied with this model now, so lore time! Neval's name comes from an old Latin word Nevalis, meaning of the snow. It was what travelers used to call them in the Cloud-Spine Mountains, where they once lived as a quiet spirit of frost and wind. Long ago, Neval guided lost wanderers through blizzards, making sure no one was left behind in the cold. For centuries, they stayed in the mountains, surrounded by snow and silence. But over time, curiosity began to stir. They started wondering what warmth felt like, what laughter sounded like, what it meant to live among people instead of watching them. One day, Neval left the peaks behind and descended into the world below. Their spirit formed softened into something more human, but not entirely. Their horns, golden eyes, and the faint chill in the air around them still reveal what they truly are. Now Neval lives in the world below to connect with others and share stories of their old mountain home. Their presence feels like a cozy cabin on a snowy night. Soft lights, quiet music, and a bit of magic in the air.